Now welcome back to this another video about just some scripts I'm working on, showing you a little bit of the progress and the functionalities of it. So yeah, the scripts are focused on making animation a lot easier. And let's start with the first one, which is this one, which is a like a mirror script for control objects on a rig. So um, yeah, the thing is you have your left side and your right side, and you prefixed your controls in a special way so that you can distinguish between left and right side. So for instance, on my rig, I use this little prefix here, underscore L underscore and underscore R underscore for every single control on each side. Excuse me. And yeah, that's you then type them here. For instance, if you have another rig with another naming convention and you have other names, you just type them here for left and right. And then the script knows what to mirror. So then let's take this left arm here as an example. Let's rotate it forward just like this. And then we have here the attributes that we want to mirror. We have translate, rotate, and custom attributes. And since this only has rotate, we can leave this just as is because we want to mirror everything. And the script knows that this has no keyable translation or custom, so it will just skip them. We don't need to modify them. And now we have here our mirror modes. We have absolute and relative. The main difference between this is because depending on the local rotation axis of a certain control. So if we take a look at her foot controls and turn on the local rotation axis for these, you see they are both oriented the same way. It's the world orientation, Z to the front, Y up, and X to the left side of the model. So knowing that, we have orientation which would be like this, the world orientation, not a change in anything. But we would have also this here, where you see this curve is oriented the same way the joint of the arm is oriented. That means x-axis pointing down, y-axis and z-axis pointing in the two other axes. And on this control, it's the mirrored thing. So x-axis pointing up. It's the exact thing if I show it to you on a joint that I quickly make. Show the joints. You see object. This is the axis, x pointing down, y pointing up, and z pointing to the front. And if we mirror this, take a look at the mirror thing. Z pointing backward, y pointing down, x pointing in the opposite direction. So this is the main way the joints are mirrored. And depending on what sort of control you are working on, the control is going to be oriented the same way the joint is. So that's what this does. Absolute mirrors with the world axis, and relative mirrors with that custom joint orientation axis. So in this case, since these FK controls are mirrored, are oriented the joint way, we would choose relative, and then we can hit mirror. And without having to select the left arm, because the script knows how the left arm is called, the right arm, it mirrors it automatically. And then this is for mirror, so we just take one side, hit mirror, and the other side is going to be exactly the same. And then I implemented this button mirror exchange, which will it's just like it sounds. It'll going to assign the right arm position to the left arm and the left arm to the right arm. So this comes in very handy when you sorry, when you want to mirror a pose, an asymmetric pose. Uh, Mirroring a symmetric pose wouldn't make any sense, but yeah, that's it. And it works for, let me increase the level of detail of my control rig. For instance, here on the finger controls, I can, let me just do a little like this. And now I can select all of the finger controls. Since they also are oriented in the same way the finger joints are, we keep this at relative. We want to mirror all of the attributes and custom attributes too, because I have here custom attributes to control the mid and end section. And in this case, when we take a look, curling the fingers in are negative attributes, and on the right side are 2. So we leave the custom function as transfer. The other thing would be to invert it, depending on how the custom attribute works. But now we can select all of them and just hit mirror, and the entire hand position pose is going to be mirrored, or mirror exchange, and see, we change the position. And this works for center controls too. So for instance, if she has her chest rotated like this, we grab the chest control, get our absolute mirror mode because it's oriented in the world axis, and now hit mirror, and it's going to mirror that same control. Because if we take a look at the script editor, we see here it gave us it printed in a little note, no mirror found, mirroring selected. So this applies if the script doesn't find one of these prefixes inside of the object's name. So same goes for the head. If we rotate the head and mirror it, it's going to mirror the exact same thing. And if we select this arm, for instance, and mirror that, it's here found right control, mirroring left one. This one, it's a test. I didn't delete this part of the script, but it's funny. So yeah, that's what this little mirror control script does. Let's leave this here. And now the other script is this one. This is the real stuff. So it's like a pose library, which one user can use to store all of the different poses and save them out as an external file to read them in. So for instance, let's load the file called Lily, because that's the poses for this rig. And now delete this and click on the set, and you see the entire body assigned the default position except for the hands. I could go here in the poses, and you see everything is stored in here. And here we see I have some different poses that I can assign. And yeah, then I have this separated for hands, for face, and for the body. So this is the default body position. We don't need to have anything selected for this. And it works like this. let's do a very standard pose. I don't know, just playing around with some controls. Grab some of these pieces, bending them, just for demonstration's sake. And now we would go ahead and select the controls that we want to store. In this case, since it's a complete body pose, I want to select the entire body control rig. Go to new from selected, and then we enter the name. Let's call this body a test. And now the pose is stored. And now we can go to the body set, or go to body a test and set, and now we can go back to that pose. And what's cool about this is this button, the set selected. So what this is going to do is, instead of posing the entire body as the attributes in the list stored 1 and 2, we can select just as much controls as we like, and go to the pose and choose set selected, and it'll just pose, and it'll apply this pose just to these selected objects. So this comes in very handy for the face. So let's go to the face rig and go down to, I don't know, maybe this face extreme shock, where she's like, oh my god. And if we now want to keep these eyes but have another mouth, we select the required mouth curves, and I don't know, maybe choose this one, smile closed, and set selected. Select the jawbone too, set selected, and now she gets a silly smile, very dumb looking. Let me pick another. And yeah, that's it. This way, now we could, for instance, give her another look for the eyebrows. Maybe she has angry eyebrows. And this way you can get a large variety of different face poses by just selecting and applying things. So yeah, that's for this. And I have this button here, select objects, which selects every single object in the face or in the corresponding pose. So if you are animating, and I would just hit S to set a key on all of the attributes for the face rig. Maybe go 10 frames further and get the new pose. And now it automatically keys because I have auto key on, and now we already have a basic animation. And I could go to the next frame, and I don't know, and you see there you can get the entire, can animate really quickly if you store different key poses from your, if you have like a layout or an animatic or something where you can see what's the character performing in this specific production. You can do the entire library, pass this on to the animators so they can block in animations really quickly. And that's the thing with this script. And we have here the possible options to rename a pose if we made a mistake, or delete the entire, and here save to file or load from file, and this is little help text. So what's this? This comes in handy for the interaction between more characters, or having this rig reference it into the scene. Because if we select this object here, it has it's called cc underscore head. But let me save this scene out, make a new scene, and reference this rig into the scene. This is going to take a while. And you see now when we reference it, all of the controls are going to be prefixed with the reference name. So that initially, some time ago, when I was still working on the script, on the more basic things, it stored the absolute name, which means that if I was in this other scene, it saved the name here, this cc underscore whatever control I use, and if I were in a referenced scene working with the script, it's going to save the prefix and the just this name. And yeah, the thing is, let me hide the joins. That if I was, imagine you was working with a script in the character rigs file, with no one of these, saving all of the libraries, all of the poses, and then you want to animate, go to the animation scene, reference the character in, and now this is called like this. The script is not going to find any control because of the mismatching names. So what I did for this is, whenever I'm saving a pose, the script is going to disregard the prefix, which means everything before this 2 points, which I don't know how this is called in English, but you get the point. So it just saves the real name of this control and applies it to the to that what's in here plus the name which is in the list. So this comes in very handy. If I import another rig into this, this is my another half finished character. So we have here these two characters which have almost the same rig. Some attributes are vary, but it's almost the same rig. And now I see this is another prefix than this one, but we are still on this lily file, which is this character. But now if I take any pose like this one and choose set, nothing's gonna happen, and my script editor returns blah, all of this stuff is locked or connected or does not exist, skipping. So it skips everything because nothing's called cc underscore blah blah blah. That's what this is like. What this is for, here we type in the current character we're working on. So let's choose this one, Lily underscore 01, the double point. And if we now set, the pose applies for this character. And if we now type in here the other character, 01 double point set, it goes for the other character. The rig varies a little bit. I have done this with FK legs, which still aren't on this character, and the clothes are not bound still. But you see, the power behind this is that we can transfer very quickly one pose to another character and have this work independently from the file name. So that's what this script does. And the other thing that I was working on is an animation import exporter that actually works, because the one I found here, this anim export, didn't work for me. It always returns errors no matter what I do. So I'm working on that. And so to show this, let me open a file with animation, show you how this works. I still haven't programmed any UI for this. It's still the functions only, written in Python. Okay, and yeah, let me delete the current thing. And you see, this file has animation. Let's go to 400 frames because the face animation. This is a test animation that I made for the face, where I sort of made very different poses. And you know, usually she holds a gun here, and she like points. But let's focus on the face rig. So we go to the face, select objects, and we have all of our objects selected. You see, if I open up the graph editor, there's animation going on here. And what I now do is I have the script here, and the first function I run this, and if you now look at the outliner, it created a group here called export face anim, and created a locator for every single object, and gave it the copied the animation curves to this locator, and it also created the custom attributes for everything. Oh, got an email. And what I do now is I can export this to let's go to my ASCII test anim 12, and now open our other file where there's no animation applied. So if we select the face here, you see it is only the animation we got here. Let's delete this and import this file, test anim 12. Now here's the curve. We select everything inside it and run the other function of the script. And it did nothing. Why didn't you do any? I need to rename to pick the right name. Okay, now run the function. And now you see it transferred from this locator, from each of this locator, the animation curves back into the to the face rig controls. So what's still left to do with this script is write a nice UI like for these two. Have it export automatically this this group that I do, and on the imports have it apply automatically to the face rig, or I don't know. I'm still having thoughts on how to do this. But what's nice about this already is that it works same way as this one, that I have here a little attribute with the prefix, and I enter the prefix and then it'll apply the animation to the object's name with the prefix. So if this would be another character with another name, or it'll just apply this to the other character. But I think I'm going to have this script work very soon. And here you can see the locators move. And yeah, that's it for now. If you got questions on this, or if you're interested in learning scripting, be it with Mel or Python or even C++, if you are, because I'm planning to do some more complex plugins, or writing a plugin which has this entire functionality in one single UI, and also like save screenshots and apply this to buttons and stuff like that. And I can, if you have questions on this, always make comments, write me PMs, however. And yeah, that's it for now. See you soon on my next video. Still don't know what it's gonna be, but until then, have a nice time. Bye.